knowledge. You must have the knowledge about Allah, and you must have the knowledge about Tawheed. You must have the knowledge of what you are believing. And under this, we set forth two things. Ibn Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi calls only one. He says, Tawheed. He said that this is the Tawheed Tawheed of the knowledge, Tawheed al-qasd wal-irada. Tawheed al-ilm wal-ma'rifah. Wal-ma'rifah. He calls this thing as Tawheed al-ilm wal-ma'rifah, meaning Tawheed of the knowledge and Tawheed of acquaintance, to knowing. What is knowledge and what is acquaintance? What does he mean by this? By knowledge, he means Rububiyyah, and by acquaintance, he means Asma wa Sifat. So there is no opposition, because you will see and you will encounter such people, especially from the Khawarij, that they would say, what you are saying is different from what Ibn Qayyim rahmatullah says. Ibn Qayyim rahmatullah says, Tawheed are two types. First is Tawheed al-ilm wal-ma'rifah, and second is al-Tawheed wal-qasd, qasd wal-irada. Tawheed of your qasd. What is qasd? Tawheed of your thinking and your irada, meaning your what you want to do, irada. And this is Tawheed al-uluhiyyah. Tawheed al-qasd wa irada means Tawheed of thinking and your action. Tawheed of action. What is Tawheed of action? It is uluhiyyah. So there is no difference in what Ibn Qayyim and in what we say. Why? Because he is saying the same thing what we are saying, but we are making it easier. There is no difference. And I will come to the question, some people say this is the innovation you are doing, bid'ah by this. I will come to the question later. But right now what I want to say is Tawheed is of three types. You can call it two, you can call it three. One is the Tawheed of knowledge, knowing Allah, by Asma wa Sifat. One, second Tawheed of acquaintance, by knowing, by acknowledging Him through His Rububiyyah. And Tawheed al-Qasd wal-Irada, which is Tawheed of the action and your thinking, that is uluhiyyah. Because why? Actions are acts of worship. Speech are your beliefs and your knowledge. So now we will go to the real subject, that what is Tawheed? Every day we hear this word Tawheed. You hear people screaming Tawheed, 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 Tawheed. But what is Tawheed? Tawheed in the linguistic sense, linguistically I mean in the language. Tawheed in the language means to single out or to make one. To make one. This is the linguistic meaning of Tawheed. And its root word is mu'ahada, which means to knot, to tie. Am I right? So, but in the Shari'i sense, in the sense of the Shari'iyah, it means to make Allah one in all His worship. To make Allah one in all His worship. This is the meaning in the Shari'i sense. Now, there is one very important key point. What is that? Sometimes I will draw language and the Shari'iyah. Sometimes a word is used in the language, and sometimes the same word used in the Shari'iyah can have different meanings. Why? I give you the example that the meaning of the word Tawheed in the language, it means to make one or to single out. This is the meaning in the language. But in the Shari'i sense, it means something different. Why is this important to learn? So that when you read something, when you are learning about Islam something, you need to differentiate and you will know whether this word is being used in the Shari'i sense or whether this word is being used in the language. in the linguistic sense, you can say, in the language. For example, I will give you the example. Umar ibn Khattab, what the incident that he did about the Tarawih, and still you see many people they fight over this issue. Na'udhu billah. So they would say that Umar ibn Khattab, he brought all the people, he brought the Qari, and he called Ka'ab ibn Malik, Ubay bin Ka'ab, he called him, and he said, Ya Ubay, recite the Quran and lead them in the prayer for Tarawih. And when he saw this, he said, هذا نعمة البدعة. هذا البدعة نعمة. This is a very good. This is a very good bid'ah. So he used the word al-bid'ah. What is the meaning of bid'ah? Innovation. In the linguistic sense, it means innovation. What does it mean in the Shari'i sense? Innovation. Can anyone tell me?
Inventing something that is not according to the Quran.
Inventing a new act of worship, you can say. The same thing that Brother Ali has said. Inventing a new act of worship. So we can see that he is using, Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu is using the word al-bid'ah. Al-bid'atul hasana, al-bid'atul ni'mah. Okay, this is the word he used. Al-bid'ah, he used the word innovation. Now, how can we know which one is he saying? How can we know whether he means this, whether he means this? In the linguistic sense or whether he means in the Shari'i sense? For this, a person must have the knowledge of Arabic, and second, he must have the knowledge of history as well. Remember this thing, he was using in the linguistic sense. Why? First thing is that he was not doing something new. What is the reason for that? He had seen Prophet Muhammad doing this. So he had a base. He had something that he can bring as a proof that I have seen Prophet Muhammad doing this. So what he meant was in the linguistic sense that this is something new that I did not see before in my Khilafah. In his Khilafah, what are people doing? Every person had 3-4 people behind him, and each 4-5 people had their own Imam, and they were praying the Tarawih differently. But Prophet Muhammad he prayed the Tarawih in Jama'ah for 2 days. Third day he did not come. So he did that he gathered all the people behind one Imam, which was Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There is a base for this. So when he meant Haza bid'atul hasana or Haza al-bid'atul ni'mah, he did not mean in the linguistic sense. He did not mean in the Shari'i sense. Rather, he meant in the linguistic sense. That this is something new that I did not see before in my Khilafah. He did not mean that I have invented a new act of worship. Why? Because there was a base. Prophet Muhammad had done it already. So that is why we need to understand that when is the word being used in the linguistic sense, in the language, and when is the word used in the Shari'i sense. After this, now we will go forward. Now, in order to testify the Shahada, and Shahada is that to testify to the oneness of Allah. This is the Shahada. Testify the oneness of Allah. Second thing, worship Allah alone. This is Shahada, and you must act on the Shahada as well. In order to testify, there must be 2 things in the Tawheed of a person. One, the knowledge aspect of Tawheed. And what is the knowledge aspect of Tawheed? Can anyone remind me? Don't be shy. Don't worry. Don't think that your answer is wrong. Don't be shy. You are here to learn. Okay. Okay. Brother says knowledge of Asma Sifat. Any other guess? And the Rububiyyah. Remember the diagram that I just draw of Iman. That knowledge has 2 things, Rububiyyah and Asma Sifat. Because you cannot know about Allah until you know what He does, His actions. You must know about His action, that He is the one who is doing this. He is the one who is doing this. He is the one who is making the sun come up. He is the one who is who is making the moon come up. He is the one who is bringing the cloud. So you must know about him.